The process of identifying the bodies of the victims of the collision involving a truck and a minibus taxi on the N9 outside Middleburg in the Eastern Cape continues. The deceased were on their way back to Cape Town after attending a funeral at the weekend. The crash, in which the trailer of the truck fell on top of a minibus, claimed 15 lives. All of the victims' bodies have been moved to the state mortuary in Komani. Let's get more on the story with SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies. Very good afternoon to you, Abongile. Horrific story there. Tell me the latest.
Well, Nzinga, the post-mortem has been done by the Forensics and Pathologist Department. Well, we were hoping to speak to some of the families that are affected by this tragic accident, but we've been here since around 9 o'clock, but we haven't seen any of them making their way here. We understand that some of the identification process took place yesterday night, and some families are still expected to come later on today. We also understand that most of the bodies have been identified, so that's why we would expect a bit few of the families this afternoon. Even the MEC for Transport, Kolile Ngata, is here to see for himself, and he was hoping to engage with the families, but we shall wait up until that process gets underway. But let's bring him in. Sir, thanks a lot for your time, and quite a tragic incident that has happened on our roads. What do you make of this?
Indeed, this is a very, very tragic accident that has visited our province. And we wish to take this opportunity on behalf of the provincial government to convey our message of condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones. And the extent of the accident it's quite clear that the impact was so heavy with that horse and trailer truck such that it was impossible for them to survive. And many of their injuries are head injuries with multiple body fractures. And we're quite looking forward, to the announcement by the minister to do the investigation. And at this point now, 10 of the bodies have been positively identified. They are from the Mount Fletcher, Maclear area. And the other bodies will then be identified as well today, as other families will come and fetch their loved ones to their own preferred mortuaries. It is indeed a very, very, very unfortunate incident.
We understand that it's still early stages. We understand that the RTMC will conduct its own investigation into this matter. But would you say that it's linked to human error at this stage?
I wouldn't want to make that conclusion because a stray animal was also involved. And according to the reports that we got, that the truck hit a stray animal, and in the process of trying to maneuver, the driver of the truck, the trailer swerved and hit, the taxi, which resulted in this sad loss that we're all going through now.
You just went inside the morgue. What did you see?
No. I just received a briefing from the officials here, and with the extent of the injuries, the detailed briefing I've received, and I thought, it was not a good idea for me to go and see the bodies, especially now the families, none of them are here now. If they were here, maybe I was to consider to go and see them as part of our support to them. And I've urged, the senior officials here to ensure that all the employees who were part of the scene are debriefed post this, handling of this case. Because from what they've briefed me in detail, it's quite a very traumatic experience to go through, having to collect bodies and having to collect parts of the skull, because one body had the skull cut off. They had to collect that to put it to the relevant person. quite a serious, accident that is.
Road safety remains everyone's responsibility, whether you're a pedestrian, whether you're a motorist. Your words for road users in light of this accident?
Well, we call upon all road users to ensure that we all abide by the rules of the road. And those who have livestock and animals, to ensure that they keep their livestock, to ensure that our roads are safe. And that is a responsibility of each and every individual to ensure that we are all safe. And that this incident should just be one unfortunate lesson for us to rededicate our efforts, all of us, to ensure that we are all safe.
Thanks a lot for your time, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
The MEC for Transport in the Eastern Cape, Nzinga Xolile Nqatha, expressing his condolences and updating us about this tragic incident. As I said earlier on, that we are yet to see the families making their way to this morgue. It's quite a distance from Mount Fletcher to get to Komani, and one can say they're not ready to go through this process of identifying their bodies. As you heard from the MEC, that some of them, their skulls were ripped apart, so it's really quite a gruesome scene for anyone to handle. But we shall bring you more as the day unfolds.
Thanks so much. Abongile Jantjies coming to us from Komani in the Eastern Cape.